Welcome back to Alphablocked. Starting off today with an item for a quest. Not very useful in the grand scheme of things, but we are looking for any quest points we can scrape together right now. Kind of rushing towards Dragon Slayer, if possible. So, this one was low-hanging fruit for however small number of quest points it gives. But we can just come over here and pick ourselves up an address label for the Tribal Totem quest. Pop that in our bank to start this round's new tab. We can take this address label to the Handlemort Mansion, slap it on a different crate, and ask this guy to do his job. Now, we have access to the mansion. We just need to get the wizard to teleport us in. But there's no real reason to do that quite yet, since we don't have the next item ready to be unlocked. But Tribal Totem is a 2-item quest, so that's actually going to be done today. Technically, you would want to grab this guidebook for the hint that it gives you in the quest, but it's not technically necessary. So we will return here to finish this later down the line. But in this episode, though, so in this round. So while we wait to unlock the things until we get there, let's go continue a different quest. Down here, in the Asgarnia Ice Dungeon, we come across what is usually a big threat to people trying to do this quest. Level 57 Ice Warriors. Whatever will we do? We're going to run right by them, since we're level 78. Yet another quest made significantly easier by our whole we're much higher level than average thing. So we're grabbing Blurite Ore. And we're going to grab 2 because, might as well. We can make ourselves two swords. Keep one of them. We're just going to need to grab a few, well, purchase at this point, a few more iron bars. But that is not this round, unfortunately. But we do have Blurite ores now, so that will be very useful. We store those right here. Nice. Next up, an item that is required for later quests, so it's not a waste of an unlock, but it might help us train one of our skills. We're going to purchase ourselves some candles from the candle maker. Nice and cheap. It's a diary task. And technically a light source. Not a good one. And not actually one yet. But it's a possibility. Whether or not it explodes on us constantly is yet to be determined. But there's candles. Useful enough. Next up, another item for another quest. Who could have seen that coming? Another location that's normally dangerous when you come here the first time. McGribber's Wood. For Dwell berries. Starts with a D. Useful in quests. I guess we'll grab a few. Oh no, not a level 44 guard dog. Whatever will I do? I'm not concerned. They just kind of... They either grow here or they're just lying on the ground. Either way. We've got dwellberries now. Very good. And we could eat them if we wanted to. But we got trout for that, so that's not really necessary. Next up, we're headed back to the Fremnik to partially complete a puzzle yet again. Well, that's nice. This door for the Fremnik trials stays solved, so I don't need to worry about that again. Previously, we came up here to search this cupboard and get an empty bucket. So that is already unlocked. Now we can do some more steps here. We can open this chest over here and search it to get the empty jug. While these look very similar to the items of the regular RuneScape, the regular empty bucket and empty jug are just called bucket and jug. These ones are special. And while we're here, we'll complete the next part of this. I'm going to take my empty bucket, use it on the tap here, to get full bucket. Not bucket of water, full bucket. Convenient. The next step, well, I guess we can actually do this next step. We can use the full bucket on the empty jug. No, wait. Wait. It would work if it was the other way. I could have filled the jug first and then shown this. So, this whole situation with the bucket and jug is going to have to wait till later. For now, we can fill the bucket, we can destroy the full bucket, or we can just kind of walk back out of here, relinquishing all of our items. We will return later, Pierre. I think I've almost figured this out. And what I have figured out is what we're going to do with those dwellberries. Alrina here can do something with our dwellberries. Puts it into a gas mask. And that is our G item for this round. Let's see how this looks. Looks like it looks. Unfortunately, we're a little bit locked out from the next item that we need for this quest. But that's progress. And now we look like this. So that's good. Next up, an item that might be useful in certain situations, and definitely going to be useful eventually for a very important item from an important quest. But for now, and with our current stats, not the most useful. It is from the Grand Exchange, starting with H, the Holy Symbol. Should just went on the active traded price. Would have been more accurate. Let's just buy one for whatever. Holy Symbol. It's got a very solid +8 prayer bonus. But for the most part, we'd probably be better off with our glory. And it's not like we have prayers that are very useful anyways. So, options, I suppose. A, B, C, D, E, and F. We couldn't bank. G, and H. Alright. Cool button. While we're here, should pick up a few more items. Starting with I, a future solution to a potential problem that may or may not happen. We're going to get ourselves... Are they not purchasable in the Grand Exchange? Huh. Look at that. Well, I guess we're taking a stroll then. Okay. Now we should be able to get this. Ice coolers. 1 coin. Let's just buy... Let's buy a few hundred. We're in no rush to save money here. I don't know if we're gonna even end up fighting all that many desert lizards, but it could happen. And now that's not gonna be an issue for us. It's interesting that ice coolers aren't tradable. Fascinating. Did not think that was a thing. Very strange. It's not like there's some super complicated thing that you wouldn't want people trading. Weird. You can trade them. What if you can't trade like the salt for the rock slugs? Very weird. Anyways, that's another potential Slayer problem solved. So, that's good. Just out of curiosity, let's see. Nope, that's not how you spell it. Yeah, you can buy the bags of salt, but not the ice coolers. How about fishing explosives? Nope. Alright. Inconsistent. Why not? Moving on to J. We've got the seeds, so it only makes sense to get the resulting jute fibers. So if we ever plant the seeds, we can harvest it. Also, not very many things that start with J that we really care about, so being able to plant our jute at whatever level that is, 13, we're close. Well, not that close, because we're still missing a very important part of this whole thing, but jute, the farming, the planting, and the harvesting. Unlocked. Next up, we're going to get ourselves an item that you really only get at the end of a quest. So it's technically a reward, and we're going to unlock it there eventually, but K is another one where there's not too many things I really need right now. So we're going to get ourselves a kebab. Not a fancy kebab, not a super kebab, just a regular old kebab. Very tasty. And very quest-related item eventually. And now, what we've all been waiting for. A lit candle. Just your average ordinary candle. Flame all exposed to the elements. Let us see if this literally blows up in our face. Disregard that. There is still an item that we need to get before we can do that. So instead of messing about, not being able to get into the Lumbridge Swamp Caves still, we're instead going to grab a few things and go get a different item. We will return very soon. Making use of the door key, we're back over here in the witch's house. Using the information from the diary, equipping our leather gloves, we can head straight in here and grab ourselves a magnet. It's magnetic. It's what we're looking for. And it gets us one step closer to completing Witch's House. For all that incredibly useful hit points experience, I guess. Quest points still. Whatever. But we are actually done with a different quest. It's been a while since we picked up this research package. Well, no, not really. Just a little bit. Last time, anyways. What we just need to do, bring it over here to Arbery and tell them about it. It was the first step of this quest, getting the air talisman. That was a long time ago. The research package is actually a fairly recent development. But we have moved it on to the next step of this quest. Notes. It's just called Notes. And that is the last item we need to finish Rune Mysteries. So let's go turn that in. Cedrador, I have returned. We've got the research notes. And now, with all this nice lore about rune crafting and the essence mines, we've completed Rune Mysteries. One quest point. We get the air talisman back. And now we can teleport around. Yay. Useful for unlocking a few more things. And quests and such. But the actual rune essence mine, not so much. Nope. If we wanted that, we would just buy the pure essence or the rune essence, whichever. Mining essence isn't good for anybody, really. But that's how it is. We can continue on with buying our next item. And storing the air talisman again. That's good too. Grab out the coins. We can purchase ourselves an oak longbow of the strung variety. Used in a quest, and a potential use of bowstrings if we don't just unlock a better bow first. Oak longbow. Probably not going to waste bowstrings, making oak longbows. We still have all the logs, so technically we could do that, but not really necessary. Next up, starting with P, and useful for that quest that we keep on doing parts of, but it's not really important at all. A pot of vinegar for Rag and Bone Man. With that, we now have the option to get ourselves all sorts of bones inside the pots of vinegar. So that's something, I guess. We get a jug back. Let's keep that. That's unlocked. That's not a problem. But now the pot is full of vinegar instead of the jug. How fancy. It is that time again where we say the 4 things that start with Q that we can't have. Queen Secateurs, Quick Lime, Quest Point Cape, Quest Point Hood. Still not unlockable. This is going to keep being a thing. We've all come to understand that by now. But the next item is a real game changer. Useful in so many places. Starting with the letter R. It's a rope. So useful. We're gonna buy like 100 of these things. You can never have too many ropes. It's beautiful. It's precisely what I wanted. And if we take one of these ropes right now, we can go get into a little bit of mischief. Now it's time to see if everything blows up in our faces. Previously, we had managed to get ourselves locked out of the Slayer skill, because our new task from Turiel was cave bugs. But now, with our lit candle in hand, we can descend into the swamp caves. Now, there's areas in here where everything will explode. So I'm going to try to avoid it if possible. But I can't say for sure that's going to happen. We've got enough hit points that we can survive an explosion though, so I'm not too concerned. Re-unlocking Slayer for at least some amount of time here. It's pretty cool. We will see if we can continue to get more Slayer tasks, or if things are going to be re-locked for us. And we now have more options too. Can't pick that up. It's gonna be a lot of, oh, I can't pick that up during Slayer tasks, unfortunately. That's just how it has to be. I mean, we don't need to pick up these 3 coins either, but symbolically, I'd like to get at least some loot from Slayer here. Not that there's really too much to be gained from cave bug Slayer tasks. But what can you do? As far as options for Slayer Masters, we've unlocked Mazjina. We've unlocked Vanaka. But we haven't completed Lost City. Partially because of the crafting requirement. So we don't have access to Cheldar. And we're still in level 78 combat, so we can't just go over to Neve quite yet. I suppose we could go to over there. whatever that person's name was. We've completed 6 tasks. To earn rewards points to complete tasks from a more advanced Slayer Master. Okay, so no points from Turiel. But I suppose we could go get a Konar task. It could be more exciting. I suppose I should check what our options would be. We might be better off getting a task from Vanaka, just based on the total number of options of things that we could get as tasks. I will peruse that a little bit and come to a decision of which Slayer Master we want to continue our Slayer journey with. After going through the list of all possible tasks from Vanaka and Konar, and considering the current state of our gear and stats and such, I think I'm going to go with Vanaka for now. Might end up just switching to Neve at level 85, but we will see. The main draw of Konar is the extra Slayer points and the Brimstone keys. And we can't get the Brimstone keys, and even if we did, opening it would be kind of silly. So, we'll probably go to Konar for our every 10th task for the additional points. But for the most part, not too tempting on this account. There are a few tasks at Vanaka that would be problematic, but that hasn't stopped us before. So let's see what we get for our first task, now that we've re-unlocked Slayer. Earth Warriors. Ooh, okay. Fantastic. That's conveniently located. And also, not so conveniently, literally in the wilderness. Let's make a check here. Killed by a player. These are kept. These go to my gravestone, and these are lost. That's fine. Well, I should probably bank my money. Let us not go to the wilderness with our cash stack. Let's not do that, shall we? Okay. So this is going to be the setup we're going to be using for Earth Warriors. Probably should make sure our player attack options are hidden. Yep, there we go. Very good. That's what you need. We've got the agility level to get over there, so that's fine. Hopefully, we don't get PK'd. But if we do, it's not too big of a deal. At least once we've banked the cash. And this is going to be quite a few Slayer levels, starting from level 16. Managed to do that in one inventory. Brought some trouts. Didn't have any problems. There's just this guy over here collecting red spider's eggs. And then I got with a god sword showed up at the end, but I really can't complain about people's gear choices. So 4 Slayer points for a total of 4. It's gonna be a while before we can buy anything from the Slayer shop. You may have noticed down here at the bottom of our inventory, we've got some items that we haven't unlocked. How I'm going to be doing this is, while doing Slayer, or if I'm ever around the world somewhere and I find valuable things on the floor, I'm going to pick them up, I'm going to put them in a contraband tab, and later trade them over to one of my other accounts. So, I'm not going to just leave a Ranar seed on the ground. That's silly. And it can make a nice disappointment time for when we trade everything off. But anyways, let's get our 8th task from Vanaka. Also, we got up to level 24 Slayer. So we could get desert lizards, I guess. Rock slugs and Don't think we have earmuffs. Yeah, we might end up with a task we can't complete right now, but that's fine. It's not going to be the first time. What is task number 8? Cave bugs. Easy. Very easy task. I'll just grab my lit candle and my tinderbox in case things go poorly. And head down to the Lumbridge Swamp Caves, because that's a place that we can go. Those cave bugs didn't stand a chance. Next. Hill giants. I can do that. I can do that for sure. They're right over here. They're right over here. We can't take the big bones, so... And we can't take that genie lamp, so... Would love to have been able to take those. What with the whole 26 prayer we got going on, but... That's a problem for later. For now, we're just at level 79. Out to go absolutely ham on some hill giants. Nice and easy. Hill giants is always a very good lower level Slayer task. 4 more Slayer points. And that was our 9th task. So the next one is the 10th. And we're going to Konar. As far as loot is concerned, we got a decent amount of runes. Another Grimy Raynar. A little money. And a few more things for the contraband tab. 50k in here. Most of it's the Raynar seed. Now we get to try heading over to Konar. Our best bet is going to be to go to... It's going to be either the Inferno or Heart. What do we think? Yeah, definitely the Inferno. Alright. So we just rub over here. It's not like Vanaka's very close to a teleport. Gonna have to run from Falador, so either way. Oh, it's gonna be unfortunate. There's a few things that could slip us up here, getting a Konar task. And also the disappointment of not being able to pick up Brimstone keys. But the Slayer points is worth it in its own, right? So I can live with it. Do we have the agility level for the shortcuts here? Or do we have to run all the way around? We will find that out once we get there, I suppose. On Mount Karulm. Getting a whole bunch of new music tracks on the way over here. Almost as many music tracks as beginner clue scrolls we didn't get to pick up. We can use it. Perfect. What level is it for that? It's really close, right? 62. We have exactly the level. Didn't plan that. That's just super convenient right there. Alright. So, it's not too long to get over here, but... depending on what we get from Konar here, that'll determine how things are going. But we should be able to do most of these tasks. We talk about the Slayer, our combat level. Because if we... sorry, difficulty of my assignments. I consider your combat level. Okay. When they consider my combat level, that allows me to get less tasks. So, I think I'm okay with that for now. So, Hellhounds in Witch Haven Dungeon. Ooh. Ooh, that's not good. That's not good at all. Witch Haven Dungeon. Can we get in there? Can we get in there without starting that quest? That's gonna be pretty brutal. Our defenses are not up to task to kill hellhounds. We don't have prayer. I'm gonna go check to see if we can even get in there. But that's probably gonna have to wait for later. Maybe. But let's go see if this is even physically possible. I don't think I've ever bothered trying to get in here before Family Crest. And this looks like this could be a ranged safe spot area. Okay. That's an option. I came here first with melee to see how it goes. And I did check the stats. Our Zamorak plate legs do give us more defense, but then we would lose out on the whole void melee set. And it's not too much more. So we might be able to get away with killing hellhounds in full void. But we'll see if we do this entire task right now. But we can get in here. Slayer is not locked off. And this is going to get us plenty of Slayer levels. My goodness. 116 XP every kill. Alright. Looks good. Well, that was a good use of resources. We did a significant amount of this with melee, and then some more of it with magic. Went and purchased myself a whole bunch of extra runes. But hey, for 90 Slayer points, I really can't complain. I think we're gonna call it there for Slayer for right now. Level 36. Good progress. I've got some plans in the works. That's for later. We started this whole journey because we finally got access to the Lumbered Swamp Caves with that rope. And now, there's a few more things that we can do with said ropes. Right now. First up, with our ropes, we can be extra sneaky. Getting around this guard. He seems to be guarding a pile of rocks. Interesting job. Yeah, we can just skip that with our rope. It's not like we're out of sight or anything. He literally watched us do that. Not the best guard. Not the best guard. But now we have access to the mountain camp. And we can start Mountain Daughter. I'm looking for a quest. Or maybe I'm not. Nope, we need to do a very specific dialogue choices. And then we had to pass a guard, have a nice chat. And now we've started Mountain Daughter. Being able to come to this area unlocks us a few options for other items we can pick up. So that's good. That's the basic gist of it. And we even got to keep our rope. So that's also a plus. And we're going to use that rope again to progress a different quest. One rope to go over an obstacle, and one rope to head down into a strange hole full of carrots. There's a pile of rope there. Probably grab some extra ropes. Down here in this totally normal cavern, don't worry about it, we can investigate a skeleton. And we get to look at a note. Except, it's not actually an item. So that's good. One less thing we need to worry about. And here's one more thing we need to worry about. Giant pig thing. I feel like my shield blocked that, but sure, fine. We're just gonna be hanging out on the ground. I wonder what's the most ridiculous setup you could have for this. Like, the Easter event outfit? Just clipping all into everything? Get yourself a bulwark? My goodness. The shield looks like it's actually helping quite a bit here. Still working very defensively. I appreciate it. And here comes someone to save us from our gross incompetence at this novice quest. We wake up back here and immediately run away. Because if we talk to Spria, she's gonna give me things. And I don't want it. Normally, you would at least thank the person that saved you from being eaten by a pig monster. But we're kind of a mess. So, nah. Gonna go do something else instead. Looking through my bank here, I think we've made a slight miscalculation. We got this lit candle. And it does not seem like we actually needed that, since we have a lit torch. The candle is still used in a later quest, so that's fine. But lit candle might be just kind of a wasted slot there. So that's unfortunate. And it also means that we would have been able to go down into the Lumber Swamp Caves a long time ago if we decided to get a rope. But the rope was still the last thing we needed, so Part of this whole journey is making mistakes. But the next thing we're getting is not a mistake whatsoever. We check our history. Here's those runes we bought, which we'll eventually use. We still need more magic levels. But we're done with our rope-based adventures. So we can move on to S. And we're going to get something that's always going to be useful. And it's going to increase the speed of everything we do. Stamina potions. For the amount that costs, totally worth it. And I mean, our current money-making method is the agility pyramid. So it would literally pay for itself there. And it's so worthwhile. So we're going to get quite a few of these. I intend to do a bit of agility pyramid here pretty soon, so having a nice big supply of these is going to be beneficial. It's not like we're really doing anything else with our money as of right now, so. Stamina pots. You'll love to see it. Let's grab out all of our teleporting items and make our way over to our next item. After some casual magic-assisted home invasion, we're up here, grabbing ourselves the totem for tribal totem. Now all we have to do is return this. And that is quest complete. Tribal Totem is not a quest with a lot of items, or steps, or things. Very simple, very old. And it gets me some quest points, so I'm not going to complain about it. Just barely managed to stop myself from turning this quest in, because that would have been a mistake. If we give him the totem, he will reward us with swordfish, which we have not unlocked. And that would block us into other options. It's only one quest point. I'll consider it, but not quite yet. So, technically, I could do the whole, oh, we turned it in, it's unlocked, oh no. But nah, that's not too authentic. So we are not completing Tribal Totem, unfortunately. As easy as it would have been to do so, and then claim ignorance of the reward swordfish, that would also set me back on my other goals related to the letter S, so that's not what we're doing. Another time then, another time. But now that is mismanaged, we can just keep the totem in here for later and get out our combat gear, because our next goal requires some fighting. We just got 7 drops from 2 unicorns. The bones, the horns, the other bones, and a head. And the one we're going to be taking is the unicorn bone. More progress in our never-ending nonsense of completing Rag and Bone Man instead of anything important. But it's there. Might as well. Not that we're going to ever be able to finish it for a long time, since so many of the items are just called bone and vinegar. So that alone is going to be problematic. But oh well. Future problems. Right now, we've got a puzzle to go get one more step in, because we're only here to confound Pyrrha the Seer. Nope. Nope, that's wrong. I wanted to get the vase out of this chest, but to do that, we need to do the whole water portion. And to do that, we need to unlock the full jug. We've only unlocked the bucket, no, the empty bucket, the empty jug, and the full bucket. Full jug, not an option, required for this. Never mind. So instead of getting a vase, we're gonna go get something else. Everything's so difficult. I even had it not highlighted. I should have known we couldn't get this. We're trying here. Instead of getting a vase, we're gonna get something you could put in a vase, I guess. Technically. It's vodka! Used in 2 quests. Well, 2 quests that I've mapped out so far, but still. We're gonna need vodka in the future. And now we have vodka. Starts with V. I don't know what you want. Next up, we're going to give ourselves a little bit of a faster way to train fletching. It is the Willow Longbow, unstrung. the good enough solution for 40 to 55. And I can chop willow trees, so let's just check what was the value of willow logs. Like 17. And the value of the longbow doesn't show up when you're in the Grand Exchange examining it. Okay. 61. So hey, that's profit right there. Assuming anybody's purchasing willow longbows unstrung, but eh. We can train fletching for quite a few more levels with no worries. And that's pretty good. Next up, problems. Back over here at the Chambers of Zarek. The only items left that start with X are this guy's fancy capes. We can try to claim one, but to get a cape like his, we need to complete 100 challenge mode Chambers of Zarek. Now, I don't know. It's maybe possible to leech that, but I don't have people that would be able to do that or want to do that. So, until I'm capable of doing challenge mode raids, that's locked. And that'd be kind of, and just leeching in general, that's not really in the spirit of things here, so until I've got the stats and the gear required to do challenge mode raids, the X is also fully locked. It's not even one. The first one's 100, and then it continues up to 2,000. So if we ever get to a point where we can do challenge mode raids, we're going to need to do 2,000 of them in the course of 5 episodes. So that would be problematic. But let's be honest, that's probably not going to actually happen. Probably not going to happen. We are level 79, and we are not doing challenge mode raids. So that is going to be, for the foreseeable future, 2 letters completely finished. Although, it's very possible to get some of the Q items. Very much less possible to get to the rest of the X's. So, that's just how it is. There's not many things that start with X. Like 13. More than the 5 things that start with Q, but still. Not great. Continuing on to Y, we're going to get some U logs. What are we going to do with U logs? I don't know. Stuff. Chop them. Fletch them. Light them on fire. We got them, though. And that's what matters. We'll put this right here next to our willow longbow. And with that, we got our last item here. And the last item of the set. The Zamorak, page 4. So that is the full Zamorak book. Whenever we get around to finishing that quest. That's going to be a while. So overall, we can't really see exactly what the bank's worth here. So I'm going to get my other account here. We can trade off the contraband. And then we can do an overview of how things are going at the end of this episode. There's all these items. And we can release these. Maybe someday well, we're very likely to unlock at least a few of these items. But when that actually happens, hard to say. Look at our history here. These are just things we bought. And some things we sold. But all things we've unlocked. So we might end up... Well, I guess it makes sense to do this at the end of episode, so we can see the total bank value without all this extra stuff in the way. And here is Colossal Hat. You can tell by the hat. All the items that we're not allowed to actually have. The vast majority of the value is in the Ranar Seed. And this could eventually get very complex trades going here. But for now, it's very simple, since we only did like a handful of Slayer tasks. But that's it. That's the end of the round. If we look at our collection of items that we got, we already used the address label and the notes. And we're missing 4 items. The empty jug, the full bucket, and anything that starts with X or Q. So, I don't know what the next letter that we run out of things is going to be. That'll be interesting to find out. But these are the items that we have. Total bank value is 3.5 million. Still, more than half of that is in the value of Marks of Grace. That's okay. As far as skills go, we re-unlocked Slayer, so that's pretty big. Unlocked a new fletching training method. Stamina potions are going to be fantastic all around. Made progress in a whole bunch of different quests. Overall, not too shabby. $916 total level. Pretty good. But next round, we're getting some big unlocks. So look forward to that. Next time. Goodbye.